Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed. Wake up everybody, no more sleeping in bed.
My name is Megan Vandergiesen, and I work for the John Humphrey Centre for Peace and Human Rights, and I'm one of the facilitators for This Is Our Canada project. What we started to see happen and unfold throughout This Is Our Canada was people were making connections. They were actually reconnecting with their roots in very literal ways, you know, with their people from their families, but also their traditions. And we were seeing these partnerships and these pairings across, you know, time and distance. And it was really, it's amazing. It's been a very special project to work on.
My name is Kim Wenger, and I am here to, I guess, connect with people and learn a little bit more about the history of Canada.
And my name is Eliane Mutukale, and I'm also here to learn and learn more about the history of Saskatchewan and, of course, the history of Canada.
Indians were gathered together and put into the Indian Act. The Indian Act is still in force today and was based on our conversion to Christianity, assimilation.
I think it's, well, very important. I think a lot of people maybe don't take the time to really learn about what our true history is, and I feel like a lot of what Canada represents is very materialized. Our media, like we think Tim Hortons and hockey, but you know, we got to really start digging into the important issues and how that affects us in our communities today.
Yeah, especially, and that ties well into like talking about reconciliation, right? There's a quote like, if you don't know where you came from, then you wouldn't know where you're heading. So in celebration of that, it's not always about Tim Hortons, that's what makes you Canadian, but knowing your history and acknowledging that will help in the process of healing, because there is a lot of hurt in our communities. There's a lot of hurt in the country in general. So just acknowledging that and recognizing that and creating awareness for that helps a lot and it goes a lot of ways.
When we were in Saskatchewan, we worked with hip-hop artist Info Red, an Indigenous hip-hop artist who came in and worked with the youth and the facilitators to create our own snapshot maybe of what we were doing through hip-hop. So we did a bit of a writing exercise, and everybody was able to insert their own verse, their own take on what they were learning along the way, and we compiled it into a little bit of a rap that we shared, maybe 16 bars, not even.
My name is Brad Bellegarde, Bradbellegarde, and I am here today because I was invited as an artist to work with some of the participants of the This Is Our Canada tour that is happening here in Regina, Saskatchewan. And we came up with a lovely collaborated hip-hop verse. Well, you know, I as a First Nations person, I know that storytelling is deep-rooted in the history of Indigenous peoples, and I see hip-hop and rap specifically as a new way to tell stories, and it's a really engaging way to be able to get youth involved and get different individuals of the younger demographic to actually understand what reconciliation is, because you throw that term out to a group of 14, 15-year-olds, they really don't grasp that idea, but you throw out a couple rap verses to 14, 15-year-old kids and they're like, man, this guy spit some hot heat, you know, like I'm down with rap. So I'm just taking that old mentality of storytelling and using rap as my vehicle in order to be able to engage in dialogue revolving around something so I guess deep as reconciliation.
We're in a nation that's searching for reconciliation. With preservation, my history is my inspiration. What inspires me, reasons for me admiring the sacred fire of every child's inquiry. So I'm inquiring, what does it take to hire me? The irony is tokenism can fire me. So I'm fired up, preaching my words to higher ups, government CEOs, the crown, we're gonna line them up. For the sake of acknowledgement on the knowledge tip. Like why they only teaching certain truths to college kids. So I'm professing and keeping professors second guessing, because healing relationships is another blessing. Yeah, what? Whoa!
Lifestyle of a native in a nation filled with hate. It's getting harder nowadays to put food up on my plate, so I'm hungry. Steady on the grind to eat a beat, writing scriptures for the future, taking kids right off the street. The time has arrived to unify and stand together in the midst of all this chaos. We'll survive another winter, like we always do, because history repeats. Let it echo through the valley. What I write is what I preach. So unique, my speech designed to teach and reach the youth a piece of you inside the minds of peeps, so they can keep it true, steady on a hustle with the bustle on the back. To the chicken dancers, what up? Let's bring the culture back. Satisfactory scripture from my faculty for family. I got a team, the realist, how we kill it. Ain't no fantasy. Insanity is demanding me to be the man I am, and the man in me is telling me to be the man I can. Voice over pen to the paper until the end. Dark souls finding the light within what is said. This is for the people. Unification is needed. Stop the infighting. Now is the time for us to believe it. 11 hooks. Peace.
Listen to the land she speaks. Open up.